Hello everyone, I'm Katrina and today I have a super ambitious TBR pile for the Readathon by Zoe and Read-O-Rama readathons. The Readathon by Zoe is a 24-hour readathon happening on the 3rd of March, and the Read-O-Rama readathon is a week-long readathon from the 3rd until the 9th of March. I've put together my TBR pile and I have 9 books. Like I said, ambitious. So I'm going to be talking about the books that I hope to read during these readathons. Now for the Readathon by Zoe, there isn't a theme, but Zoe has specified that she's going to be trying to catch up on some series. I also have a lot of series I need to catch up on, so I've selected a couple of books to help me do just that. And then the Read-O-Rama has 7 reading challenges. But let's begin with my TBR pile, starting with the books I'm hoping to read during the Readathon by Zoe. As I mentioned, I'm going to be trying to catch up on some series on the 3rd of March, so my main book for this readathon is going to be Abortion by Garth Nix. This is the 3rd book from the Old Kingdom series following Sabriel and Lyriel. I really enjoyed those books, and in this one we are continuing Lyriel and Sam's story, so cannot wait to see how things go. So this is the book that I'm going to be focusing on during the day. I've also added to my list Full Metal Alchemist volumes 22 through 24 by Hiromu Arakawa. I think this is the second last 3-in-1 volume that I have, so I'm really getting close to the end. And essentially I added this so that I could kind of break up my reading if I'm feeling a little bit bogged down just focusing on a novel. Whilst I should have most of the day available to sit down and read physical books, I also thought I would add to my list an audiobook. I recently got the audiobook for The Subtle Knife by Philip Pullman, which is the 2nd book in the His Dark Materials series. All those moments where I'm not able to physically read a book, I'm going to be listening to an audiobook to fill up all of my free moments during the day. As I mentioned, the Read-O-Rama has 7 reading challenges. The first one is to read a total of 7 books, so I haven't specified a specific book that's going to help me with this challenge. It'll just depend how much reading I get done overall. Challenge number 2 is to read a book that has the letters R-A-M-A in the title and author. I actually struggled a little bit with this, but then I realized Harry Potter. Those books have lots of letters. Let's see if Chamber of Secrets has enough. It sure does. We have R-A-M-A in the title alone for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This is the illustrated edition, so I will be continuing on with my illustrated Harry Potter reads. Challenge number 3 is to read a book with LGBTQIAP+ representation. For this one, I have selected Ida by Alison Evans, which I believe has gender fluid, bisexual and transgender characters. Challenge number 4 is to read a new to you author, and I was having a little bit of a look through my shelf and spotted this and was like, yes, you are perfect. So I've been wanting to read this ever since I picked it up. I originally saw it, I think, on Twitter when Jay Kristoff was raving about it, and I was like, Jay's talking about it, I must have it. Not that I would like completely follow him blindly, but it actually sounded like something I would really enjoy. And recently I saw it a few times on Emily from Possibly Literate's channel. I recently discovered her channel. I'll have a link down below because she's amazing. I've been marathoning all of her videos, so in a lot of like her favorites videos and things like that, she's been mentioning it quite a bit, and I was like, well, I must get to it very soon. And then perfect opportunity right now. That book is My Favorite Thing Is Monsters by Emile Ferris. It looks like an absolutely epic book. The illustrations look so cool. It's, I think, meant to look as if it was a diary, and just how incredible does this sound? So it's described as a murder mystery, a family drama, a sweeping historical epic, a psychological thriller about monsters, real and imagined, within and without. It sounds so epic. Very excited to get to it. The next challenge is to read a book that was released in spring. This is another one that took me a little while because I think this challenge is based on the fact that the readathon is happening at the beginning of March, which is also the beginning of spring in the Northern Hemisphere. Down here in Sydney, it'll actually be the beginning of autumn. So I was debating whether or not I would read a book that was released in March, April or May, so sticking to the Northern Hemisphere's spring, but my autumn, just so it would align with the readathon. My other option was to go with my spring, which is a book released in September, October or November. I decided to stick with a book released in March, April or May. Half of the reason was because I wanted to read this book and it's being released at the end of May. And that book is Lifelike by Jay Kristoff. I know, I've had this book for a month and I haven't read it yet. Who am I? It was on my TBR pile for February. I was hoping to read it earlier on in the month, but other books kept popping up that I had to prioritize, so I've had to put one of my most anticipated releases of the year on my bedside table, waiting waiting patiently. If I do actually manage to read it before the 3rd of March, I have a backup book, and that is going to be Remind Me How This Ends by Gabrielle Tozer, which was released in March of 2017. Challenge number 6 is to read a borrowed book, and at the moment I don't have any books that I have borrowed from friends or the library, not even audiobooks that I've gotten through Overdrive. So what I'm going to do during the week is I'm going to go down to my local library and pick up a book that I feel like reading in the moment. So that's what I'm going to do for that challenge. But the last challenge is to read one of the hosts' picks. There are 4 hosts for the Read-O-Rama Readathon, and each of them have chosen a book as their pick. Luckily, one of the books is one that I haven't read, but I do own, and that is Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Corthurst. I've been really excited to get to this, I just haven't gotten around to it just yet, so hopefully I can do it during the readathon. But this one does feature a female-female romance. It is a fantasy, sounds so up my alley, so really excited about this. This is my entire TBR for the Readathon by Zoe and Read-O-Rama readathons. Like I said, it's ambitious. I will also be posting 2 separate readathon vlogs, one for Readathon by Zoe and one for the Read-O-Rama readathon. You guys can look forward to that around the middle of March. If you guys are participating in the readathon as well, I would love to hear about the book that you're most excited to read. For me, it is definitely Lifelike by J. Kristoff, closely followed by My Favorite Thing is Monsters, but across the board, I'm really looking forward to getting to these books. So fingers crossed I have a great reading week, but that is all that I have for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll have another video up soon, but until then, I will talk to you in the comments. Bye!